What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg Miller, alongside the man who needs no introduction.
Yoshida.
Yeah, no, you don't need one. You don't need to say your name. No,
sorry.
yeah, of course, President of Sony Worldwide Studios, at YoSP himself, Shuhei Yoshida. First things first, I saw your unboxing vid.
Thank you.
No,
Which
don't thank.
version? We made like 10 different.
I saw the one with the gloves and the cool lighting and everything else.
In Chinese or?
No, I saw it in
French?
English, American.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Why would you do that? I don't come to your office and start making video game consoles, but you just take the food right off, the wings right off my plate, huh? That's what you're gonna do?
Well, well, in general, I always felt and said that the unboxing, except for something funny like you do, should be, reserved for people who buy the products and find out by themselves for the first time, right?
Yeah.
It's some special moment. So I wouldn't like to ruin their moment. So lots of people ask if I'm doing, and I'm like, no. But when the PR people, send me the idea, what about this doing some parody of the music video?
Right.
Oh, it looks interesting. Oh yeah, let's do it. So we shot it on Sunday.
Okay. It was different enough than the normal
you.
one. So, Colin still had room to go do his unboxing. It's fine. I have been authorized to offer you a contract at IGN to come unbox things if you ever want to.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you notice, my video, there's no new information at all. Right?
Yeah?
Yeah, it's just entertainment, for consumption. Yeah.
So let's talk about entertainment.
Okay.
Last time PlayStation console came out, you weren't in all the videos. You weren't making the rounds. You weren't this big celebrity. What's it like right now? Is it a completely different feeling right now, launching a console and then being like the face of PlayStation? This is the face of PlayStation.
Yeah. Well, if people like it that way, I'm fine.
Don't worry about the people. What do you think? How do you feel about it? Like, do you like being that? Do you like being the guy on Twitter that everybody's coming to with these questions?
Yeah. Every day is some catastrophe happening, right?
The terms of service have been updated. This is happening. Oh my God, the
new
used
DRM.
games.
Sony, you lied. Yeah. So that's great.
Why is that great? You have to put out a fire every day, a catastrophe.
Yeah, well, it's something I feel that I can, contribute, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, because company, goes through, lots of people have some slightly different, opinions, and it takes time to react, right? So I know enough about, in the end, this is how a company would decide, so I just post things.
How have you ever gotten in trouble? Do you ever get yelled at by PR? Kaz ever ring you up, be like, what are you doing, Shu?
No, but by my wife a couple of times. She said watch my words or something like that.
Yeah.
But
the
PR people are pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're nice to you. Not so much to me.
To you?
Yeah, they're mean. All the time.
Really?
Jen Dean,
really?
Don't trust
because you expose yourself too much?
Yeah, they're not. I don't know what is with that, right? You'd think they'd be happy that, look at me, I'm promoting a healthy body image for our male demographic, telling them that they don't have to be perfect.
And positive thinking.
A lot of positive thinking. Look at me. Look at how happy I am about everything I talk about, right?
Yeah.
How happy are you right now with everything that's happening with PlayStation 4?
Yeah, I haven't read any reviews yet.
Well, that's...
I'm so happy.
You're tempering your happiness, So how do you feel? Is that the other shoe you're waiting to drop? Like, are you like expecting bad reviews? Are you trying to live it all up right now? I have to imagine this is an emotional roller coaster.
It was, but this project has been a long project.
Yeah.
Like almost 5 years, and considering what we aimed. We accomplished for the launch. I think we are pretty close to, like 80-90% of what we kind of set out to do.
Yeah.
And probably in some regards, beyond our expectation.
Beyond. Thank you.
Yeah, like the some very positive reactions from some of the messages that, we've been sending. And the number of pre-orders that PS4 surpassed any of the past PlayStation launch. And it's amazing considering, people in the media and analysts, used to say that, well, with all those mobile products, there's no need for, game dedicated consoles.
Right.
But we are beating our own, record in the past, PlayStation or PS2 or PS3. So, so that's something we were not really hoping or thinking about.
Yeah.
So it's amazing, I don't know what happened, but I think PS4 that we worked so hard to make resonating, with people. That's great.
So I think you don't know what happened. I think that's what it did, right? I talk about this, of course, on Podcast Beyond. It's a PlayStation podcast. It posts every Tuesday. You should download it sometime. I talk about it that for PlayStation 4, it seems like, Sony, you really took a step back and, we're going to double down on gamers and we're going to go and we're going to talk about games and that's what's going to get us people, and it totally has, at least in pre-order numbers.
Yeah. So the part of the reason there's no MP3 support on day one was that focus on gaming. So, going on for the launch, and we are a bit, caught off guard about some strong reaction from some of the people who found out that there's no MP3 or DLNA support on day one. Because it was, not our priority. It's not like we decided to, remove these so that people will subscribe to Music Unlimited, and Music Unlimited will become the, no, we don't. So if lack of MP3 support is the worst thing about PS4 launch, I think we are in a good position.
So that's one of the things when I was getting the UI walkthrough that I thought was really, really interesting is that, you and I are in this race. You don't know it yet, but we're in a race to see who gets 2,000 friends first. And I think I have a lead. But when I was talking about, so I have to send people, a real name request, I was like, is there any way for me to check a box and say, everybody can see my name, blah, blah, blah. And the response was, not on day one. It seemed like every time I presented something that I wanted out of the system, they were like, not on day one. It wasn't a flat out no, it was, we are still looking at that. That's still a possibility. It seems like a stark change from PS3, right? When we had you on the E3 Beyonds, and we'd be like, why can't you change your PSN name, or why can't you do this? And you, one time were just like, why can't remote play? And you're like, the PS3 wasn't designed.
The PSN name, sorry.
But, you're talking about the fact that you designed the PS3 with something in mind, and then obviously the internet came around and all these other things, and the landscape changed, and now it seems like the PS4 is a much more pliable system where you're able to listen to gamers and change. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So we really wanted PS4 to be future-proof, and a big part of making future-proof is to secure enough amount of memory. And earlier in the process, we decided to adopt the very fast memory, GDDR5. Because we believe, the next-gen system needed for the performance, that requires. So, making decision to have 8 gigabytes of that was really big decision because of the cost and, whatnot. But we wanted to do it because, not only that games get, lots of memory to, make great games, but also the system software guys. They are also software developers. They also fight within the, confinement. We'll get the room, leave the room in CPU, GPU, or memory, whatever, that they are given, from the system.
Sure.
To be able to, add features, improve features, something new and great comes out, 3 years from now that we haven't, thought about, they can still put that feature in. Yeah, so that's a, big part of the planning for PS4.
Okay. Now you mentioned earlier, why can't we change our PSN names? What's your problem, huh?
Well, that's what the engineers say. That's not, for me or for you or people who are not engineers would think that there's a cell, right, in your profile.
Right, there's an Excel spreadsheet.
Delete and rewrite.
Yeah.
That's done, right? It doesn't seem, the system was designed that way. It seems it's a lot of work. Okay. So it's not impossible. It's just a lot of work.
Sure.
And the engineers, the server-side engineers guys have to think about, there are lots of new features, we want to put forward, for the PS4 era of PlayStation Network. So, it's always the matter of priority.
Yeah. And you want to prioritize games, obviously. Also, it's a lesson to them. Don't name yourself something stupid. You've learned a lesson now. What you do on the internet is going to carry with you forever.
But
be nice in comments.
Let me say this. Yeah. So
let
me say this. Yeah. So at the same time, there's issue about sub accounts.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people are
converted to the master.
They want to be master accounts. They started it before they were 18. Now they're 18. They want to be master accounts.
Yeah. And that we all feel that's unfair and that's unreasonable and that doesn't make sense. Even more so about the lack of ability to change your ID name. But again, same some technical issues.
Sure.
So we do feel sorry for people. Some people, not just people who were underage and become mature, but some people say, I made a mistake. I made a sub account and I just used it, and I realize now that there are more features on the PSN, and some of the features are not available for sub accounts. What I should do.
Yeah.
So I feel sorry for these people.
Okay. Feel sorry for you too. Sorry. So here's a question: what changed? What changed at PlayStation? When I've been 7 years now. When I was covering the PS3 stuff, there was no Shuhei Yoshida face out there talking about this. There was nobody apologizing for features that aren't there, but just saying they aren't there. Like, when did you guys decide to be, I guess, not more personable, but more open and talk to the consumer more?
That's a good question.
Thanks. That's what I do.
Yeah. So part of that, definitely, I believe that when company, because we are all in the business, right? And especially the business side, they always, we always get the pressure from investors or whoever who have interest in the success of financial success of the company, to use the position that you have in the competitive positions. It's like business strategy ABC kind of thing. So if you are in a position of strength, you are supposed to use that position to make your competitiveness even stronger. Sometimes that makes you feel that you can now lead the things and you can make a call, and other partners or consumers will follow you.
Yeah.
You may call it complacency, but that I think comes in circles, and because we've gone through the difficult time of launching PS3, so I think we learned a lot, and especially in the U.S., we are catching up, with other companies in terms of install base, some network features. So really, we have this challenger spirit now. It's like when we first entered the industry, back in 1994.
Yeah, you were the underdogs.
Yeah, absolutely. No one knew. No one knew Sony, associated Sony as game company, and not many people predicted PlayStation will be successful. So we had a big idea. I was there. I knew. We are talking something like, 40% of household has VCR, and game households are much smaller. We can double the install base or something like that. Yeah. But we knew we didn't know anything about the business, so we really wanted to learn from companies in the industry, or listen to consumers and business partners. So I feel like approaching the launch of PS4 was like what it was like when we were working on the launch of original PlayStation.
Sure. So then you talk about the dark times with the PlayStation 3 launch and maybe the hubris of the company. Do you see your competition right now and the other part of this next gen life cycle? Are they maybe a console behind you in that? I mean, when we talk about like Wii U, when we talk about Xbox One, like the mistakes they have made or the little gaffes they've had, do you see it as you guys had the advantage because you already kind of went through that with PS3?
Do you think Nintendo made mistakes with Wii U?
Yeah, just a few.
Well,
I mean, the OS, not having a multi-touch, not having that many games, the internet not working, not having an Ethernet port. I can go on, but I won't.
Well, I have 2 Wii U's.
How much you play them?
I play Wii U games with my daughters, 8 years, daughters, because they make pretty fun, family friendly.
Sure. Oh no,
games.
totally. Yeah, they're really good at what they do.
Yeah. So I think success or making mistake depends on how you set your goal. So I don't know what was Nintendo's goal when they launched Wii U. To me it was a bit confusing, because what they do really well was create some very safe environment for anyone, especially children, to enjoy games.
Yeah.
Like induct those people who never play games ever to become a gamer.
Sure.
And they always do very well. And to me, what they have made with Wii U was continuing what they were doing well. But the messaging, what they are saying is we are for core gamers.
Sure.
It was a bit confusing. But this year, I think they slightly changed their messaging, and it seems to me like they are coming back to where they are.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting, right? I mean, like for everybody at my office, right? It's the new Mario, then it's down the line Smash and Kart, right? That'll be interesting. And I think for me, where what you're talking about, that they are, bringing new gamers in and teaching them what we do, right? I have to worry about what mobile and tablets are doing to that, right? I think that's where they hedge their bets incorrectly, right? And the fact that here's the new Nintendo console, there isn't an amazing game yet for it. Pikmin's coming, you know what I mean? And so the adults don't buy it and don't give it to their children that way, but instead pass off their last gen iPad and say, oh, here, play Angry Birds. And then boom, Angry Birds is that new cash cow that's everywhere, right? And then this, that, and the other. That's the misstep I wonder if they made.
Yeah, so when you look at the situation around Nintendo that way, do you characterize Nintendo as our competition? I think, in the bigger scale of things happening in the industry or tech or people's, lives, how they play games, on what device, and how they start to learn to play games.
Yeah.
I think, Nintendo and us are pretty much in the same group.
Sure.
And, we need Nintendo to be very successful to help, induct as many consumers who likes to play games with controllers, right? Like sticks and buttons.
Yeah.
Because we believe they are great things.
Sure, yeah. Rising tide lifts all ships. Like, and that's what you were talking about earlier, right? That like people are always predicting the end of the consoles and this, that, and the other, right? But the numbers are better than ever, and the fact that there's 2 next-gen awesome boxes launching that everybody's super stoked about, it's good for everybody, right?
Yeah. We worked so hard for the last 2 or 3 years, and we are very proud of what we have done with DualShock 4.
Yeah.
Right. It's great that the people buy DualShock 4 before launch of PS4 and say that this is great. This is great. But what if you never all your playing game experience was on iPad?
Right.
Would you appreciate what we've done with DualShock 4? Probably not. You don't know the difference between DualShock 4 and DualShock 3. Yeah, so I think, touch-based games are great. Some games are really fun. But we believe that, if all the world have is the touch-based, games, I don't want to live in that world.
I'm with you. I want to get off that planet as soon as that happens as well. No, yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah. That's the concern. But you make interesting points about Nintendo.
Yeah, and Microsoft as well. Yeah. So we need each other, I think, to create a bigger story. You like those, like Scott Lowe likes to compare the games on different, platforms.
Right.
Yeah, because that's very interesting, and people read, your article and make comments and get upset and call you
people
names.
Upset in the comments. What? That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, but that's all fun, part of fun.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is part of the fun right now, especially now, leading up to launch, people bickering about the dumbest things possible. Can I see the black levels in this? What? I don't know. Looks a little sharper. It's like, just enjoy the game.
Yep.
That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah. So talking about Twitter, and every morning, I wake up, or during the night, I check the timelines, and lots of people now take photos of their living room, and showing that they have already purchased their shock and Killzone or NAC, and there's a space, waiting for PS4 to come. Very, very neat, and so that's very heartwarming.
I guess to wrap this all up and put a bow on it, right? This is the first PlayStation launch where I think the community is so front and center. And I guess that is social media, right? That would be the fact that everybody has a voice now. But do you think that this has always existed, this ravenous core base that loves PlayStation and puts stuff aside and buys things early and puts it out there? Or is it something that's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger as you guys have gotten more and more open?
Well, of course we kind of knew, there must be millions of people who like, PlayStation.
Somebody's got to be buying these things.
but outside of some limited, contact that we have with consumers in the event or, on the storefront, the event that I felt really strongly about, wow, these people are passionate about PlayStation was when I started listening to Podcast Beyond, and some people are calling in to your show, talking about the how they enjoy games, and that Podcast Beyond 300 episodes was awesome. That was amazing, the amount of passion and happiness in that room. So thank you for doing that.
I wasn't fishing for this, but you're welcome. Thank you for making the system.
Were you involved in that at all?
Sorry?
Were you involved in that Podcast Beyond?
Why am I involved in it? It's my job, gets a paycheck.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, no, that was the whole thing, right? Is people always like to throw around that I'm biased, right? That I'm a PlayStation fanboy and blah, blah, blah. But what it was, don't do that. Don't accept it like that. No, I got hired at IGN to write about PlayStation. So then I came on right as the PlayStation 3 had come out. And so it felt like energy was low, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's really what set the PlayStation community together, was that all of a sudden all of the riffraff, all of the PlayStation 2 hangers-on who just had it for FIFA or whatever, suddenly got cut away. And it was this group of people who loved games and bought this system because they know great games are coming from all the first parties, and that's how it's going to work. And so I was able to come on and be part of that and the IGN PlayStation team and build that out. And we started Beyond, and it kind of just took off on the way that, there are all these fans out there who want to know what Naughty Dog's up to. What's that Evan Wells tweeting about? Let's talk about that. You know what I mean? There's people who love that nerdy conversation. And so, it's funny that it's all come together for this launch, I feel, where, we just had Beyond 300, 400 fans from around the world came out there to see it and hang out and talk and just be around like-minded individuals. And that's really cool. So thank you for building that brand that I've been able to just hitch my wagon to and ride to superstardom.
Yeah, thank you for helping us, improve it.
Yeah, no problem.
We have a long list of work for our engineering team to, continue to, improve it. So.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that PlayStation 4 is out incredibly soon, or it may already be out by the time you watch this video, so whatever. But if you want to know all about what's happening on it, those games, and what Shu's up to, keep it here on IGN.